Hello and good welcome. Good welcome. Hello and welcome, good or otherwise, to Who Does Rolls for the Mumbo Jumbo for the June. June are we in now? 7th of June. I'm going to throw that out there because it seems like an adequate number. So here we are. Here's the stuff. Not much to say. This is kind of just following off of the Expo. So to drop initially is I will be putting out Expo reviewy type videos, i.e. how was Expo? Which, in short, was entertaining and fun. It was lovely to get back into the crowd of fellow gamers, to see, some old friends and just, just to savour the delights that is the Expo. So that was all cool. That's happened, and I'm doing a video. I'm going to break it into 3 parts. I'm going to do one for each day at the Expo, and that's underway at the moment. But I just thought I'd just touch base now to let you know I'm all live and well and everything exciting's maybe going on. And so I won't be doing any played because they'll be part of the videos I'm going to bring up. I'm not going to do any other stuff. So we're going to kind of unbox something, look at something, and go for a mini kind of first opinions. My Father's Work, which is Kickstarter exclusive, it's Renegade Games. It's a gothic horror game, worker placement, with lots of other kind of stuff happening, engine building and things. I was quite fascinated by this because of Abomination Air Frankenstein. I like the hammer horror, that style of that gothic horror, schlocky stuff. And the idea of you being a mad scientist performing various experiments in what this was offering was cool. It was also thrown, this is kind of my last Kickstarter hurrah, really. Last one, I just kind of went, you know what, I'll take the punt. It was only going to be exclusive to the online store or whatever, and other than a few retailers, mate, got it, so it was going to be hard to get hold of. And it was, to be fair, a lot of bling in here for your money, which we will go to next. So yeah, My Father's Work. So what is My Father's Work? Well, how does it play? In short, the idea is you're a mad scientist creating your experiment, your masterwork. It is played over generations, 3 generations broken down into 3 stages of life. And the game is charting your family's legacy as it goes through these 3 generations, and the effects upon the neighbouring village and the locals and the story and this enveloping story that goes on throughout the game. There is different scenarios you can play in there. The boxes that come in, there's 3 of them come in the game, and they've all got other components and other bits and other stuff that are added during as you play specific to them. So yeah, that's what you're doing, and it's mainly via worker placement and kind of engine building. You're looking to essentially complete these experiments, these masterworks, which build towards the masterwork, the big experiment you're working on, whether it's robots, of cyborg robot things, time machines, Frankenstein's monster, werewolf stuff, any of these sort of things. And there's different styles of science, like biology and the dark arts and mechanisms and robotics. You can all kind of diverge down into them as you gain knowledge in those by interacting in the village, by worker placement, putting your pieces down, or in your own castle, which you can buff up by putting new tiles in, new bits of building and furniture. All of that takes place, and at the end of an age, a generation, after these 3 ages have played through, you will pretty much lose everything because we jump forward in time to the next generation. All what's left behind for them is what you've done to the estate, what you may have upgraded in there at that point in time, and you're allowed to pass on one piece of knowledge, one part of one of these experiments you're doing. And you save that, and then you come in the next stage with what you now know, and you go forward and try again to complete your masterwork. The experiments, as I said, done in 3 times. There's A's, B's, and C's. And to complete the masterwork, you have to complete at least 1 A, 2 B's, which will then allow you to unlock the C's, complete 3 of those, and then you can complete your masterwork. So it's kind of this engine builder to get the stuff to create, to do the experiments and get more stuff from them by completing them and victory points and this. And in amongst all of this is this branching storyline of how what you're doing to the locals and the choices you're making are also affecting that, and stuff may come your way and you may get penalised and other things will happen. That was all what kind of enticed me to it. So in the box, it's a lovely production. Rule book is really thick, beautiful paper. It's really nice, sort of well put together thing. And having gone through the rules, then it looks a lot, but actually it's not that much. And it was quite easy to grok. So what I've done, the app isn't available yet for this. Shock horror. There was a whole thing on the Kickstarter that they held the games back because the app wasn't ready. Everyone lost their shit. They released the games to people. People got the games now. Now the app's not ready. People lost their shit. So the app's not ready. There is one web-based version of what they were giving to reviewers, which allows you to play through the first scenario. It doesn't have any of the bells and whistles or the graphical touches, the sound and voiceovers that we'll be getting in the finished version. It is just text on the screen. And no doubt some of that text and some of the bits and pieces of it have probably changed since then. So it's not a true reflection, but it gives you something to work with, which I've used to play through once with this game. It's a two-player game on my own, just to see, get a feel for it. So we have the Village Chronicle. This is what we'll be charting our adventures on. I'm not going to show too much of it because, well, it's spoilers. This changes as you play for the game. So yes, you'll get a title screen for the one you're doing, the quest you're doing. You'll pick your map, and it will sit in the centre of the board. And the board's laid out in such a way that it can take this, and it sits there. And these are all the locations that you can visit throughout your adventure of this in this particular generation. This will change each generation. Different items will come up. Maybe what you've done will create different buildings to come down. So the village, the hamlet that you're around and about is growing and changing with you in line with what you're doing. All of you are doing, which is kind of cool. And it does do that, and it does it quite well. So we all have a player board. Everyone will have a player board, which is your main house here. These are basically the science, so dark arts. And if you start doing dark arts, you start creating sanity issues, start losing your sanity and everyone around you. In here, there's different things you can do. You obviously can upgrade your mansion by putting in different tiles you can buy throughout the game or might earn through doing something, and they will give you buffs or usually generational stuff. At the start of a generation, stuff will happen. You'll get things, or do other things, or protect you at certain points, or whatever. And then you can perform your experiments here. There's certain specific worker placement units can only go down. So you get different hexed or different shaped discs overlays that you put on your figures' bases, which discern who they are and what their powers are. So there's certain things you can do with every character, and some things you can do with only a few of them, and some things will actually cost characters disappear if you do them, because it's driving them out of their mind doing these crazy experiments. So that's it. It's pretty much the idea is you're getting these experiments, you're getting the bits from completing experiments to give you more resources. You can get them from going to the town and get more resources, and these knowledge cubes you're getting, and you're basically using all that to cash in for experiments. What you can do is cash in knowledge here is basically like bank your knowledge, which costs cubes to do, but then it means you've permanently got these 1, 2 or 3 cubes on subsequent experiments. So actually your best bet is kind of banking some of this stuff to give yourself like a baseline that you then don't need as much knowledge cubes to complete all the experiments. But that's kind of cool. Really thick double layer board, lovely quality stuff. The player board itself is built up over bits, put together like a jigsaw puzzle, and it sits there in the middle of the thing with a score track and everything else on it, which is cool. And then we kind of get all the good stuff. This has all been done by Game Trays. Game Trays is the company that actually do all these custom-made stuff. So in here we got a set of miniatures. Around here we got all the tokens, all really nice pre-washed miniatures, wooden, nice thick, sturdy wooden tokens. It's kind of sweet. And then we get all the other bits we'll be using, which I'll pop this open because you see it. So there is, and I've seen people already filling these up. There's these glass vials, and they are glass. A stopper will come out. And I've seen people filling these up with various things for thematic effect in the game. We get some really nice coins, really meaty coins, lots of really blinged stuff, pre-printed sort of wooden components of animal, all sorts, all your stuff, all your resources. So that is top drawer stuff. On top of that, we've got sets of cards and tiles for the things here, all the cards for the experiments that are locked away in there. And then the hint here, we've got these free campaign boxes. The boxes hold the stories of the different games you can play, which are kind of campaignish. And these will change and transmute and alter as you play through. So there you go. That's everything you get in the box. And it's wasn't cheap. It was about $100 or so, but actually, you know what? It's all there up front. It was a punt. I played a game of it, didn't complete it because it went on. I think this will play long. I think you're looking at about 3 hours a game, probably, I would have thought, with 3 or 4 people. But it was a learning game, and I was bouncing around and just trying stuff out. But it was really cool. You get the feel of being a mad scientist. I love how, even with a rudimentary app, it's affecting the world around you. Your choices are making points. There's a whole travel track I didn't cover, is that the local villagers can get suspicious of you and come out with the burning torch and drive you out, and you can't do actions in the village, which can be absolutely brutal depending on what it is. So yeah, I like all the things. The worker placement mode is cool because it's different pieces being able to go to certain places and maybe having to sacrifice them, but as the game progresses you get options of getting them back. The fact that your character can do things twice a lot of the time, so you've got options to use them as a power move, and just generally the feeling of this evolving round really well implemented, and it's working so well already just based off of a text screen, and the story and what's going on in these boards and stuff here. Really good. I can't wait to see how well or how thematically it's going to play with the full bells and whistles of the animation and the music. I'm sure it's got a voiceover. It's all going to be lovely. So yeah, at the moment, I am not disappointed by this. I'm happy that I backed it. I like what I'm seeing so far. I will hopefully get a game of it in soon. I don't know whether I'm going to get all 4 of us. We'll play it this weekend with what we've got, or we might wait for the posh app. I don't know. But yeah, generally, good stuff. Really enjoyed what it was doing. It's ticking all the boxes of what it promised to tick, and if you are a fan of that, and you might have to hunt it down. As I say, the problem might have is it was only coming out onto the Kickstarter. It's not, I believe, going to any massive amount of retail, though I'm sure there was a retail option, some retailers would have backed it. I'd say it's good if you're a fan of Abomination Era Frankenstein, want that gothic horror worker placement with a twist, then this is delivering spades. It's really good. It's got that thematic story going through. It's really well written. It's just interesting how that's kind of evolving. It's got gothic mad scientists doing mad scientist shit. Lots of crazy shit you can get up to. And there's a story playing out across it, and it's really good. Yeah, I love it. So there you go. That was my first impressions of my father's work. And this was me. This was Who Dares Rolls. That was a very short one. I will catch you soon in the subsequent UK Games Expo videos, which are coming, and some other nonsense, I'm sure, which is not further down the road. Excellent. And nay a fuck thrown in for all of that. I am impressed myself. Off you go then. Off you fuck. Ta-ta.